Yeah. Yes. Cool. Awesome. This will be great because you don't know what we might discuss,
I
right?
know. It
And
could be a podcast in itself.
it could be. So I usually record my Zooms. I don't necessarily publish all of them, but
Right.
when I go back and watch them, you know, it kind of reinforces. And that actually that brings us to the point of anchoring, right?
Yes.
And anchoring is it's a really key thing because um what can happen is we could just get back from an event like Tulum, right? And we can get back in the daily routine, and some of the nuggets that are there, um they could be lost, forgotten about,
Right.
because you get busy. And so I think remembrance comes down to our memory, really. If we just go back, um if we go back in time a little bit, that's basic in a nutshell. Anchoring is reinforcing,
Right.
right? It's reinforcing when you anchor something. So it's like you do it, you repeat that thing once, twice, three times, and boom, it's like, okay,
Right.
it's otherwise it's just kind of floating in the ether. And that could be with like new energy codes or whatever, new opportunities. It doesn't really matter. But the way you anchor something is you focus your energy on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't let it slip away, right?
Right. Right.
And-
That's why I wanted to schedule the integration call. At least we have like one additional touch point
yes.
since the retreat to talk about how things are going and these celebrations, like that's part of it. So anybody have anything to celebrate, and then we'll break off into breakout rooms to just talk, and each person, similar to Ben's exercise, has an amount of time to talk.
Yeah.
What's been hard, has how has this been for you, and get the perspective and feedback of the group.
Yeah, that's actually really I think that's a really cool I think that's a really cool idea. Like I said, anchoring, really what it is, you're trying to anchor that frequency that you experienced just recently,
Right.
and rather than just allowing it to slip away,
Right.
um which naturally, and um we're still figuring out how does energy really work, but let's
Well,
just
and
yeah, yeah.
I want to challenge that notion just a bit, because I think when we come back to the 3D, there's
Yeah.
a balance that we have to maintain. I don't think we could all live at that frequency 24/7 in this reality. And so
It
I
it it's it is a frequency mismatch, that is for sure.
yes.
And that's
Yes.
very important because I don't think we could either, because I'll tell
Yeah.
you, the first day back, um I was it was almost like, when you open the curtains and the sun is just really, really bright, and you're like,
Right.
you know and that's the same effect that light has, right?
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
that effect, and it can be, or just like if the sound is turned up too loud on the radio, it's like, whoa, turn it down,
Yeah.
so there's like the intensity of the light, the intensity of the energy. We do have the ability to turn down the dial,
Yes.
simply by making a command to do so, recognizing it. It's really
Yeah.
that easy.
Yeah.
you know It's really that easy. It's just your energy is operated by, your thoughts, your focus, your mind, and you could turn the energy, and it's happened. I mean, we've had blasts of solar energy. We're seeing
Mm-hmm.
aurora borealis and northern lights are coming to the lower latitudes because we're in the I love the northern lights.
I want to see them so bad. I know
Oh
you've
my
gotten a
God.
chance.
Well, they've been coming down. They came down as low as Albany, New York, right? 2 days
Wow.
ago. That's just, and Stonehenge in England, in UK, it was like imbued with the Northern Lights, just like
Wow.
I saved a photo of that, and I was just like, what? I was like, WTF? Like
Yeah,
that just doesn't happen. So it's showing you the amount of solar activity, right?
right.
Really, that's the auroras and the Northern Lights are created from, geomagnetic, the storms, the solar storms, right? And it's the solar storms which are colliding with the magnetosphere of the Earth, at least
Mm-hmm.
we understand it, but as taught by science class.
Right.
That all might be challenged, but as far as our understanding right now, it's solar particles colliding with a magnetic field of the Earth, right? And when that energy bounces off, you see these colors, these bursts of colors. So in the Northern Lights, you see green, that's oxygen actually, right?
Mm.
And the red is nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
You see the purple. Sometimes in the spring times you get the different colors in the auroras, but typically um, the most predominant color I would say is green. So it's oxygen. But see that itself, when you can experience nature like that and connect with the Northern Lights, what it does to your field, your body's magnetic electromagnetic field is um, it puts it really, it's you're synchronizing with the universe, really,
Right.
with physical energy, with electricity, with you know, and it just there's some magic in it
I bet.
that has to be experienced. I wouldn't do
Yeah.
it just describing it, but I would let's just say that I could never get enough of the Northern Lights. Let's just put
Yeah.
it that.
I don't blame you. I totally
But
get it.
yeah, but all the solar activity also, I mean, solar, the sun codes, the solar codes play
Yeah.
in our DNA,
Mm-hmm.
coming more and more online, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the universe knows what we can handle, right? And so it's only giving us enough, like I was saying, like without turning up the dial too much.
Right.
But sometimes the energy is intense, and I mean we felt it in March. And so, and there was a couple of really intense days, and I was just like, wow, there was all kinds of stuff. It wasn't all, I had a lot of neutral memories
Mm-hmm.
that weren't good or bad, but they were just thoughts or things that I remember from years ago, and there was nothing really remarkable about them. But it was just like, oh my God, I remember I was in this place and time, and it was like being right back there. It was like time travel, you know?
Hold on. Cat is doing something.
Okay.
Salem, what are you doing? Oh, I think he's playing with the shower curtain. I'm gonna let that go. Punk.
Yeah, but all the solar energy is definitely affecting our nervous systems. It's affecting our biofields, our magnetic fields.
Yes.
So,
Some more than others. I have,
yeah, well, extra care has to be taken. That also depends how much, okay, density, right? The more density you have, I mean, and density, look, it's really all memory. Everything is memory, right? Because, if you're purging stuff out of your system, like I'm talking energy, I'm talking emotions. Well, really, what is that? It's thoughts and patterns and behavior. It's
mm-hmm.
in your memory. So this is clearing out your memory. So you become more open of a container for the light. So
Right.
and things come up and out. It's a cleansing, it's a purging. And depending on how long you've been on the path and on the journey, you know, everybody's at different levels, like you were saying.
What
So
I find interesting is how all of this impacts people regardless of their awareness. And so I've been seeing some wacky behaviors at work, people who are very much asleep, but just bizarre behaviors. And
yeah,
it's like getting dialed up right now. It's fascinating. And I know It's
What,
because of all of this. And
what,
my coworkers know me. They're like, what's going on with the moon or Mercury or something like that. So it's funny when things get weird, but things are
yeah.
getting weird.
So what's like one thing that stands out that somebody did?